Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Harris and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to Daniel Tosh. How do 90% Americans have jobs? So without any delays, let's get to it. Here we go. I'm looking forward to this.
It is great to be here in America.
Oh, it's an actual video because everything else he's done is being like, what do you call it, just the still image.
Yeah. The greatest country in the world, if you haven't traveled a lot. Do we have to constantly scream we're number one? It's always the people that live in the most boring parts of this country that scream the loudest. People in Kansas, we're the greatest country in the world. It's like, do you guys have internet there? You ever seen a photo of Fiji? I've never been to Fiji, but I've seen photos. It looks pretty amazing.
Yeah,
it's hard to think we're better than that. We're top 10. Maybe if we started screaming that every day, maybe terrorists would stop trying to saw our heads off. We're top 10. And they'd be like, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was that number one stuff that was getting old. America's basically turned into one of these factories where we just have a sign up, like, it's been 22 days since our last horrible thing.
Really?
And it's like, oh, all right, rip it down, we're back at zero again. These things just keep happening, you know, whether it's Ferguson or Baltimore. I can solve racist cops. That's an easy fix. But nobody comes to me for the answers. You want to get rid of that forever? How about this? Only black people should be allowed to be cops. Boom, problem solved. And if any of you have issue with this, it's because you're racist. Well, what about white people? White people can be firefighters. We're more outdoorsy, it makes sense.
See?
White people, firefighters, black people, cops. Who wants tickets to the softball game now? Yeah, it's gonna get pretty tense. Might wanna put in a mercy rule. And the next time we have one of these tragedies, inevitably we will, and you happen to be so unfortunate enough to know the person that's being accused of the crime, do us all a favor and don't get on TV the next day and be like, I lived next to him for 32 years. I never could have seen this coming. Maybe you should be locked up for 6 months. I find nothing more disrespectful. You never could have seen it coming. I've never met anyone in my entire life that I couldn't wrap my brain around the fact that they are capable of awful things. Literally no one.
That's
my
true.
mom could blow up a nursery. If you put me on TV the next day, I was completely honest with myself, I'd be like, I can fucking see it. No, it makes sense. Sometimes when I was a kid, I'd come home from school, she wasn't happy to see me. I think she hates children. Ladies, know that every man you're sitting next to tonight, if you could get into their head and see every thought they have ever had, you would immediately pull out a gun and blow your head off. Because trust me, they're capable of anything. All day long, every day, nothing but twisted, weird, awful shit is just going round and round and round. And what do you do at night? You snuggle up next to them because you're so happy that you're not alone. And I think that says more about you. That notion that your parents raised you on, stand by your man, if you're insane. The second your man gets accused of anything, you immediately distance yourself. Just be like, I don't know what the fuck he's into.
Yeah.
Buy clothes like the next town, we'll forgive you. By the way, I do love this country. We're the only place with any diversity. The entire planet's segregated. You realize that when you watch international sports. Like I was trying to watch the World Cup, despite hating it. I get it, soccer's the most popular sport on the planet. That's because half the world can't afford AC. And that's about how long you have to run just to get tired enough to fall asleep in these godforsaken countries. You ever try to gamble on soccer? What's the over-under, 0.5? How much time's left? It's a secret. I'm out.
But
we have diversity Other teams don't. Or if you look at the Olympics, you look at our U.S. gymnastics squad. We have an Asian girl, a white girl, a black girl. Look at the Chinese squad. Any guesses? Did you guess exclusively Chinese bitches? Yeah, that's all that's ever been on that team. That's all that will ever be on that team. And they wonder why they're not getting golds anymore. Well, you better get a Harlem in China. You think snapping together iPads all day is tough?
Oh, that's brilliant.
It is not as tough as it used to be. Now they have suicide nets around their building so they can jump out, bounce right back. Sorry, boss, just need some fresh air. Back to making Americans more stuff? You got it. This is a tough joke to do as a white comedian, but here goes.
Looking forward to that.
Because where this country is now, from where we came from, is pretty remarkable. There's nothing more shameful in our country's past than slavery.
Oh, he's going to tell
It's horrible. But I've grown up in a generation where I've idolized black people my entire life. They are better at everything. So the fact that we pulled off slavery, I've already said it's awful. That's off the table. I'm just saying, it's kind of neat. I mean, at any point, they could have been like, you know we can just run away, right? And you will never catch us. And if you do, we will beat the living shit out of you. All right, that's about how well that joke should go over. There's a fine line between appreciating the sarcasm and, ooh, this feels like a rally. And you did well. That's a joke I do not do everywhere. That's a joke if the audience gets a little too excited, I shut it down.
Good idea.
You start hearing a couple yee-haws, trouble's a brewing.
Don't want the hood to come out.
As soon as yee-haw hits a certain octave, hate crime and T minus 10, 9. The unemployment rate in our country is around 6.5%. I'm told that's pretty good. I could care less. I wish a president would have the balls to say what I'm about to. 10% of Americans don't deserve jobs. Good night. Like, that's a number I can get my head around. Of course, there's exceptions to that. That's not who we're talking about. But if you don't think 10% of Americans are lazy pieces of shit, then you have never traveled anywhere.
That's true.
Because the number that blows me away is that over 90% of Americans have jobs. Who the fuck is hiring you morons? Because I wouldn't.
All right.
The sense of entitlement, everyone thinks they deserve more than they have. No one's content. Young kids, I won't even talk to them anymore because you parents have done such a bang-up job. If I meet one more kid and ask him what he wants to do when he gets older and he replies, I'll be famous like you, I'm gonna kick him in his teeth. You're never gonna be famous. Never. You have no chance. I didn't get here because I work hard. I have a gift from God.
I like you.
Everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, buddy. Excuse me? That's an average. Yeah, that's 0 for you, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 20 years, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
That's it.
Everybody gets 15 minutes. You know Andy Warhol was on drugs when he said that, right? He didn't think he'd be quoted for the rest of eternity, let alone taken seriously as an artist. You ever go into like a cute local cafe and an artist has their work for sale on the walls? Has anybody ever not walked up, looked at the price, and gone, who the fuck do they think they are? Just once, I'd like to walk into somebody's home and be like, wow, that is a beautiful piece. Where did you get it? And they're like, oh, funny story. I was getting a spinach wrap the other day for lunch, and I had $750 burning a hole in my pocket. And I was like, hey guys, unbolt this from your urinal and get it into my living room. You know what the unemployment rate in China is? Neither do I, because I'm American, I'm fucking stupid. It's gotta be low, right? Those people get up at 3 a.m. to practice the violin for 4.5 hours, then they work on math for 12 hours, and whatever's left, they're ninjas. If you think for 1 second we will ever catch up with them, you are out of your mind. Just sit at home and be patient until they take over. And quite frankly, they deserve our country. I go, oh shit, China's here. Do we take off our shoes? How does this work?
I like that. So, that was Daniel Tosh. How do 90% of Americans have jobs? And that was an absolute brilliant bit. I really enjoyed that. I get to watch him do the act. It was a lot much far better than just having to look at a still image, because it does give you a lot of context when you're watching somebody tell a joke, and also see the animation, how they behave, their body language. That gives you a lot of more about the joke. It makes it funnier. When he's doing that slavery joke, oh my god, that was, I knew for a moment when he said they are good at everything, and I had a feeling of like, oh shit, I know where it's going, and that's exactly where it went, and it was brilliant. I really did enjoy that. And about the fact that 90% of Americans, or even in UK, 90% of the people have jobs. I don't know what's the rate in UK. I think it's around the same as America, to be honest, because there isn't too much difference between Americans and British people. So, but still, the whole concept is brilliant. I keep bugging me. One thing is keep bugging me is the fact that the phrase is I couldn't care less. Why do Americans use it as I could care less? It just bugs me a bit, because I'm from here. I know the correct phrase is I couldn't care less, meaning you do not care at all. That's what it means. If you say I could care less, that means there's some degree of care within the context of what you're trying to describe. So that way it doesn't make sense. No, it's a rant, just saying. But overall, I really did enjoy that, man. I really did. I hope you did too. If you did, like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Also, check out my Daniel Tosh playlist. There's about 6 other videos to check it out. And I'll see you guys next time.